Well, hey, welcome everybody to another episode of Tech Tip Tuesday. My name is Ken Close, Healy World member, USA engineer, and old timer in the Healy world here in the United States. And I am joined now. I don't mean that by age, just been around a minute.
Yeah, that's
Uh,
right.
and I'm joined by our awesome rock star, head of operations for the Americas, Jake Barron. Thanks for being here.
Thanks, Ken. Good evening, everyone. Great to be here again.
Yay, we've had a bit of a break and a lot of stuff happening lately. So we
It's
took a
been a
little,
it's been a pretty busy month, I would say, this May. A lot going on. So,
gotta admit to that. And we have our Lightning Fingers customer service rep, Dongni, in the background. Everybody say hello to Dongni
yeah,
and welcome
she's
aboard.
here to
Thanks for
help us
being
out tonight.
woohoo. Yay. Thank you for being here. So, you guys that are brand new, that are just joining us, have never been here before. Well, this is a chat-based forum, things around the technical stuff, philosophy stuff, even sometimes, as well as troubleshooting stuff for Healy, the apps, the technology, um, the programs, all kinds of cool stuff. We talk about almost everything here. What we can't talk about really is anything that have to do with diagnosis, prevention, medical conditions, or diseases or disorders. Those are just not on the table. But we can point you in the right direction for answers in that regard if those are some things you need to know. But other than that, we're pretty much wide open. The way this works, put your question in the chat, and then myself, Jake, Dongni, we will unpack that. Sometimes the audience as well, so that's always fun. And our goal is to solve the mysteries of Healy for you. How about that?
Sounds
You guys
great.
ready? Yeah,
Yeah,
ready to do it? Okay, well, let's see. Do we have anything in the question queue? We got one here from Paula. Says that my device no longer syncs with the app on my phone. Okay. Um, so when you are the term sync, essentially you've got two apps. If you're working with the pink app, the pink app essentially just takes a look at the backside of your design of your Healy, looks for the QR code, and then it's going to ask you a question. Now, let me give you some tips here. Whenever something is going wrong with our app, and it doesn't matter if it's the Healy app or if it is your, I don't know, your messenger app or any of the app on your device, step one is to close out all the apps in the background. I mean, our smart devices get very, very tasked with so many things, and you got to hard close all the other apps. Healy is one of those systems that is what I call resource hungry. In other words, your smart device has a limited amount of resource. I mean, it does a lot of things. However, um, it may not have a lot of memory left, or it may being used for a lot of other functions, such as the other apps open in the background. So step one, close out all the apps in the background. Okay. Step two is, I mean, I always close all the apps, including my Healy apps. I turn the Healy on first, then open the app, and then allow this synchronization to start taking place. Right. Um, We also want to make sure that we're utilizing the most latest version of the apps themselves. To find out how you do that, you go to your app store, whether you're iOS or Android, and open the app from there. Because if there's an update waiting, it'll say update, and then you'll get the latest version. If it's not, then if it's all up to date, then it's going to ask a question. Number one, it's going to ask it a question to utilize some hardware on your smart device, aka camera, so it can take a look at these QR code on the back of the Healy, right? And then it's going to open and synchronize the app. So that's just with the Pink app or the Healy 2 app. It's right over here. Um, so, Paula, if that is some things that you've done, let us know in the chat there where you are with all that, and we can unpack it a little bit
yeah.
more.
I asked the question, but I was wondering which app she's referring to. Is it the Healy 2 app, like you were just saying, or are we talking about the Analyze 2 app? Are we talking about the old Analyze app, the Blue Dot app?
Yeah, the pink app, she says.
Pink
So,
app. Okay.
and that's where we start. We start with the
Yeah.
pink app because once we synchronize that one, the next phase, usually goes a little more seamlessly. So, in regards to what I mentioned, all the other things closed off in the background, making sure that your app, your Healy 2 app right here, is up to date from the App Store, number one. And then going into that opening of the app, or I should say, turning on of the Healy and then opening the app.
Yeah.
Um, okay, so she closed down all the other apps on the phone. Good job, and then re-downloaded the Pink app. Excellent. So if you had deleted the app and then reopened it, perfect. Then that's going to work a little bit better. So the phone can no longer find your device. All right. So when you say re-downloaded the Pink app, so I'm assuming that you deleted it, right? You deleted the app. Right after you delete any app, here's my other suggestion to clean out the cache. In other words, all of the residual programming content on the smart device. You want to turn your smart device off. Turn it off, turn it back on, let it reboot. Because what that does is that whenever you delete an app, sometimes there's remnants of the file itself that's maybe allocated to certain functions on the smart device. We want to get rid of all that. We want to get rid of all that. And that's how you shut the device off and back on. That's how you clear all that. It's called essentially clearing the cache, getting rid of some of that residual threads between the app and your smart device functions.
Hmm.
Then restart, then go and reload the app. Okay. Um,
Yeah.
I would love to see what happens after you do that.
I'm wondering also possibly have the Bluetooth turned off at some point on the phone or the Bluetooth chip on the actual Healy device itself. Or I mean, this is a situation too where I think it's useful to try doing a hard reset of your Healy device as well. If you tried all these things and it's still not connecting, it's not something you need to do often, but this is a case where this might be something that fixes this issue here, and it's super helpful.
Okay.
And Dongni, thank you for just putting those steps there into the chat here as well regarding the troubleshooting, common troubleshooting issues, and then also how to do the hard reset.
So Paula did a hard reset
Oh,
on the Healy
okay.
device. That's good. So let's go through some sequencing because sometimes we'll do one thing and then do another thing, and one thing trumps the other. So we want to make sure we're kind of going through this particular sequence. So let's start here. Number one, delete the app from your smart device. Okay. Number two, turn your smart device off. Number three, hard reset the Healy hardware. Of course, press and hold the power button till the green light comes on solid. Let go of the power button. It'll stay on solid for a few seconds and go off. That's reset. Then go ahead and open the smart device. Turn the smart device back on and reload the Healy 2 app from the App Store. All right. Once that's done, the loading is complete. Turn the Healy on. Okay. Then open the app. Let them sync. Just watch and see what happens. It's gonna look for devices that are turned on. Okay. It won't look for devices that are not on, or devices that are plugged in. It will see them as turned on. So once it finds that, it's going to want to scan the QR code. It's going to ask permission. Now, one of the things I want to make sure everybody understands too is when the app asks permission, you need to say yes, right? You got to say yes right then and not later. So you say yes. It's going to ask permission for your camera, ask permission for your Bluetooth. You got to say yes to all that. If you have some setting on your smart device disabling the function of your Bluetooth, we're going to have problems right there. So you have to re-engage. All right. So, so try that sequence and let's see what happens.
Yeah, and also if you've gone through, so do you prefer to use the scan QR code? I mean, You can try both. Normally, you can just scan the QR code, but it's worth in this situation here too, just to rule something out to just type it in manually as well, just to confirm that everything is being entered correctly. I'd also be curious, are you able to connect to the Analyze app with your Healy device as well, which would kind of rule out the Bluetooth chip being an issue as well in your actual device, which is a very, very rare thing to go bad, but it is a possibility. Then also in the Healy 2 app, one of the recent updates, if you're using a VPN, it will also, this used to just be in the Analyze app, but if you're now in a with a VPN trying to connect to the Healy 2 app, it will show that you're not connected to the internet. So if you just did a hard reset and need to load everything back onto the device when you're connecting to it and you're connected to a VPN, you might encounter some issues there as well. So it's, maybe you can put in the chat here as well if there's a possibility that you're running this through a VPN as well, which in that case, it'd be worth turning that off at least temporarily to try.
Yeah, and what he's talking about a VPN, so that has to do with your internet service. Okay. Or the access, your smart device is accessing the Healy cloud through your Wi-Fi. And it's only doing that when it's initially downloading the content of your account. In other words, whatever your account is allocated to, if it's a professional model or a gold model, whatever it is, all of the programs that are allocated will have to come essentially be populated or authorized from your account via the Healy cloud. So that's all done through the internet. And if you have a VPN or a some kind of a security block, and your smart device is trying to access a specific IP address, that security block could definitely stop that from happening. Okay, so we just want to make sure that's not happening now. And I'm assuming that you've ran your Healy before on this smart device, because another thing I want to make sure that we're clear of for anybody who watched this later is that the apps themselves do have a minimum operating system version, a minimum operating system version. Some people, if you're using an older device or an older operating system, this new system is still looking for a minimum of 11.0 as an iOS, or I think it's actually 11.0 also with the Android. So, and Paula has used it before, so good. And let's see. You entered the serial number and the connect button stays lit pink, light pink. I'm sure is what you meant.
Yeah,
Light pink.
yeah.
Unavailable.
Yeah,
That means it's not, yeah.
yeah, I've seen this before many times where if again it wasn't like as you mentioned going in the right sequence of maybe the device wasn't on when you first opened up the app. When you get to that step, it'll show unavailable. But if you hard close the app, make sure the device is on and go back to that step. Usually you're able to connect to that point, even if you have to do it a few times. Just hard close, open the app again to get back to that page where you're connecting. And sometimes also, if there's a lot of interference around, a lot of other Bluetooth devices, that might be a situation as well where it's having trouble connecting to your device. And we're kind of going through everything here. So even though we haven't been able to solve this yet, this is useful steps going forward for anyone that might encounter any of these types of issues as well.
So let's look at the lights. Let's look at the lights on the hardware itself. When you turn the device on, the green light starts to flash, right? And then when you open the app, right, and you go to connect, let's say you put in the serial number, or well, if you're putting the serial number and the pink light or the pink tab doesn't get bright, where you can actually connect, then it's not going to attempt to connect to the Bluetooth. It won't. It hasn't even got to that part yet. So Paula has done a hard close and then turn the device on again. The green light is flashing. Okay. So we know that the hardware is on and that it is attempting to connect when that signal is sent out. The way it works is the app sends out the request, and then a device out there answers the request and sends back a signal to engage the Bluetooth connection. So, um, let's see. So far, it sounds like you've tried all the things that are going on. Um, yeah, if you don't have any other interferences around you, like I've been
Yeah,
in an event where like we have 10 Healys or 20 Healys all around you, and
yeah.
the app gets a little confused in trying to connect.
Yeah, maybe you can send Dongni a direct message here in the chat with the serial number that you're trying to work with, and she could take a look on the back end to see if there's anything unusual as well.
Yeah, send Dagny the private message, and then she can kind of look at your account itself. Um, it doesn't sound like that's the case because
Yeah,
it's not even getting to the Bluetooth connect function.
yeah,
It does sound like now Jake mentioned something earlier. Um, if you've turned your Bluetooth off within the app, you actually have to hit the button twice. Now, reset, when you do a hard reset, that should clear that.
yeah.
But, you know, um, if you successfully did a hard reset, in other words, like I said, you pressed the button until the green light came on, the green light stayed on, you released it, and it went off by itself. That's a successful hard reset. That should clear any of the requests for Bluetooth disabling. It should clear all that, and you should be able to kick it back on. Um, okay, so Paula, in your chat, and where it says sending to everyone, instead of clicking to everyone, send to Dongni direct. So it says Healy support, Healy technical to support Dongni, and send a message directly to Dongni. And you guys chat back and forth about um, what would be needed so she can find out some more things about your account. And
Okay. Let's see. We got a testimonial about success helping using the Healy to help with a bad bug bite, if you want to call it. So yeah, that's always great to hear, helping support that. There's this other question here. I'm trying to go through this. What the question actually is regarding expert programs. And sometimes people got a T2 when starting up an expert program.
we talked about this before, where
Uh-huh.
someone has gotten a label of
Oh,
T2
that's right. Yeah. Yeah.
as opposed to the name of the program, whatever the
Yeah.
time waiver practitioner created it and made a name
Hmm.
for it. But T2 showed up as a blanket. Um, I don't know that we ever got clarity exactly what that was
Yeah,
from.
I don't think we did. And I think this is the only call where I've heard this come up. So, yeah, I'm wondering if Dongme's heard of anything via support tickets of this issue as well. But yeah, this that other time was the only other time that I had heard this mentioned before.
It's got to be something to do with, I mean, from a technical aspects, it's got to be something to do with the app decoding the content from the expert program just to give a label to it. That's just kind of that label is just something that the
Hmm.
practitioner assigned to a file, and then the app decodes that. T2 sounds like maybe some kind of a default because this is just it's not the only person that's had this.
Yeah,
Um, I would certainly submit a support ticket so that at least the technical department can look at this and see if we can figure out where that's coming from.
yeah.
Okay.
Well, I think
Let's see.
we're caught up. I know Dongme's probably helping in the background here with some of these.
Lindley's saying thank you for having this information in one place. Well, you're welcome. Seems like there tends to be a lot of information here when we I don't know how many
Yeah, that was a good 15-minute segment just on troubleshooting the connection issue in the Healy 2 app. So yeah, definitely will be a good resource uh, when going to review the recording too. So
yeah, there is a sequence, and I've had this come up multiple times where somebody is saying, "Hey, I did that, I did that, I did that." I said, "Okay, let's back up and do it in order." Right? Let's do it in order because that does make a difference. Sometimes we're negating one process by doing something in the wrong order. Okay, let's see here. Next requires serial number. Let's see. Where was I? I think I skipped something here. So here's one recently last week. One of my pet sensors, the wire broke approximately 2 inches from the sensor. Fortunately, I have two pet kits, so I'm not stopped entirely. And you know what? I broke a wire just not too long ago too on mine. It was one of the ones I had that was by almost 4 years old. So I'm pretty happy that it made it that long. So let's see. They initiated a support ticket, and here's the number. I asked how I could get a replacement sensor. I was told I can't. You have to buy an entire kit. Why can't you provide a replacement sensor? Those wires are very sensitive, very small, engage. So I'm not sure, if there's like we have an individual one wire for the regular electrodes, but I
yeah.
don't know.
So yeah, I'm trying to look into this right. Are you referring to just like actually I have one here. Let me just confirm what you're talking about here. This one here.
The sensor pad, that
Yeah, I
goes
think
to the
that like
sponge.
oh. So are you referring to these little cables here? Just put into the chat that this is what you're referring to or not. Let me see what we can do. Nice.
Meanwhile, while you're putting that in there, so there's a question here about where is the recording saved to access it. If I join late, thanks. So the recordings for these are put on the YouTube channel. The Healy World America's YouTube channel. All of the Tech Tip Tuesdays, all of the What's Up Wednesdays, all those have their own channel or their own um, playlist, and you can go and take a look at those. And so they're usually about 24 to 48 hours after the episode. They'll be placed up there, and you can take a look at it. And they're all hyperlinked. So if you just scan down about the content, you can find exactly what you're looking for. So go to the YouTube page, search for Healy World Americas, and you'll see it. Okay. Okay, so so there's a clue right here. Paula just put in here about that when I scan QR code, it next requires that I enter the serial number. So it's not reading. My guess is there's an issue with the app. Delete it again. I know it seems goofy, but delete it again, turn your smart device off and back on and reload that. I would be curious, are you using an Android or an iPhone? Um, and of course, Donnie's got some content in there for you. As previously mentioned, let's go back for a minute. And I don't want to insult anyone's ability to use their smart device, but if you don't know how to hard close an app, and I get this all the time, I ask people, so can you hard close the app? And they go, I did. And I said, did you just swipe it away or did you actually hard close it? There's a difference. And in Android, there's a term called forced close. Forced close. And that means you've actually turned the app off, not just swiped it out of the way so you can do something else. You actually closed it, hard closed it. And on an iPhone, depending on the version you have, there's a specific either if you have a home button, there's a specific double click. If you don't have a home button, there's a specific swipe um, um, method. But anyway, knowing how to hard close, and if you don't know how to hard close it on your smart device, that's okay. There's a YouTube recording somewhere. So go to YouTube and search hard close app on, whatever, Android something something or Apple something something. And there'll be a video for you. Okay. All right. So Paula is asking some questions there in about what's the serial number. If you're looking on the back of your device, yes, it does start with 010101. And then so on. There's three more sets of numbers after that. All right. Did close all the apps. That's good. Hard close. Okay. It also says, she says that I did hard close. I'm assuming you mean a hard reset on your Healy device and then restart it. It's been more than 2 weeks that I have not been able to use my Healy device. Okay, so then perhaps you do. Let's see. I'm just kind of reviewing what you and Paula, or what Paula and Dongni are talking about here. Hopefully, you guys are getting some things figured out. I'm gonna let you guys work on that. Okay. Okay. And then Jake, so owner is saying yes, it is the one with those wires on the end of the pads. One of those apparently
Yes,
broke off.
yeah. Well, I'll talk to the team here, and we'll get you get everything fixed for you. So
There
yeah,
you go.
yeah. So one of our loyal Tech Tip Tuesday, participants. So.
Yeah, I mean the things happen, things break, right? Like I said, I'm pretty hard on my stuff, and I feel like pretty lucky lately, or for a long time, because I just broke one wire recently,
Yeah,
and I'm not surprised because those wires, they get a little brittle over time. All
yeah,
right.
and that's especially the ones that we're wearing on our with the wristbands and stuff as well. They're depending on what you're doing, can get caught on things, and I've definitely caught them many, many times, and I thought, oh man, that's probably messed it up real good. But they still work. But yeah, occasionally you get it just right, and it maybe the next time you go to use them, you're noticing that you're not getting the proper connection there, getting that message, frequency is generated, but no current is flowing. And then Ken, you of course have shown many times the sort of the test you can do to see if it's the cables themselves that are not working. But then also the reason that we don't sell the connection cables in a pair, we sell them individually because most of the time you only need one. Um, it's nice to have a backup pair, but usually one of them, when you get them caught on something, for example, it's usually one that has the issue. So you don't need to replace both at the same time. But you can buy a pair. It's always good to have one extra on hand in case, what if you're leaving for a trip tomorrow or something like that, and you got your cable caught on something. So I always like to have an extra with me just in case for situations like that.
100% is like you said, when you're going somewhere, you don't want to have to order something and wait for it because it's not going to be there in
Yeah.
time to go. And as Jake's mentioned, there's been many times that couple times actually. I've showed how you can test. If you're not sure if something's wrong with your cables, you're getting that message that frequencies are being transmitted, but no current is flowing, and you've got the thing all the way up to 100% on the intensity, and it's still not working, and maybe you've moistened the wristbands and you've done everything you can think of, and you still don't get any current flow. There's a very easy way to test to see if your system, if it's something with the hardware or if it's something with you. Um, and the easy way to do that, we've done it before on the calls, but when you are running a program, you got your microcurrent program running, um, you would take your wristbands, connect them to the wires. I'm going to just show you real quick. Connect them to the wires. You've got your wristbands not on your body. You got them connected to the wires. And then right where the wires connect, you see on the backside the little tab, right? Just touch the face of your wristbands together right there. Pinch them together. This is going to be as if it's bypassing you as a body, right? This is going to create your conduction right here. So again, you're taking your wristbands, got your wires attached, you're running your program. And of course, if the wristbands are not on your body, your app is showing you, it says frequencies are being transmitted, but no current is flowing. Okay. You got that message, right? Touch these guys together, the wristbands, and this is face to face, the surface in which it touches your body to surface in which it touches your body. Hold them together and watch the app. You should get current flow. This is like, directly bypassing you. So it's a really quick little way. You can also moisten these a little bit, touch them together, and you're going to get that. That's how you check the hardware. Pretty easy. All right. Let's see. So back to Paula. Paula says that she's using an iPhone. Okay. What else do we got? Anything else?
Let's see. We just got one that just came in right now. It says, a blue dot after doing hard close. Tried to reinstall and asked me to purchase the Analyze app. How do I get around this? So
Hmm.
there's the app doesn't have any sort of purchase purchase option, like to download the app. There's no purchase required. If you're talking about when you log into the app and you click on one of the modules and it says, well, this module is not activated, please proceed to the shop or something like that. Um, that's usually a case of not being connected to necessarily the Healy that has all the features. Like if you have three Healys and one's a gold and one's a holistic and one's a resonance or something like that, just to make sure that you're connected to the resonance, which has access to the modules you're trying to access. But I'm thinking that's what's being asked here. I'm not sure, but
Well, here's the thing too to consider. So, owner, I'm not sure what your name is there, but it says owner. So it says that your iPhone 11.1. So the new Healy 2 app requires actually iOS operating system 12.0 or later.
hmm.
So that's another thing to consider, that it may be borderline even working. Because it's, as app, or I should say, let me reword this. As hardware advances, app developers must advance as well, or they won't work on the hardware. So we're up to what? I don't know, iOS operating system
It's a 15?
15 something,
Yeah.
15 something. Yeah. And so the apps that are designed for 9 or 10 version aren't working much anymore. I mean, except for like a calculator app, something super simple. But this is a complex app. And so it's requiring app developers, aka Healy developers, to improve the
Sorry,
system.
we're at 17. Sorry.
17. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. All right. But
Yeah.
the point is that so the Heal Advisor 2 app requires version 12.0 or higher. So if your smart device won't upgrade to any further than that, there may be an issue right there.
Yeah, but if you have an iPhone 11, that should be able to be upgraded to the most recent. It's some of the older ones, like the 6 or
Yeah.
7, the real old ones. But I would make sure, when you have your device that you want to use it with on first, and then when you first open up the app, connect to it first before you try to go into any of the different modules or clients. Just click that icon in the top right. If you're not connected to your device yet, it'll have a little red Bluetooth symbol. Click on that and then connect your device and then try to go into whichever section of the analysis that you're trying to do and see what happens there.
Yeah, the reason for that is because, like Jake said, if you have multiple Healys and one doesn't have authorization to the resonance, right? It's a gold or something. It's not going to allocate. It's not going to allow you to do it. So it might say purchase, you know. But that little red icon at the top just means that you're not connected to a device. Connect to the device, and then it's going to, if it's a resonance or above, it's going to function. I'd be super curious for you to give that a try
Yeah.
and see. Come back to here and tell us what you've discovered. So hopefully, Paula, you're getting things solved in the background there. Um, I'd love to hear about it. We like to hear these successes. So Paula says still not working.
Okay.
Okay, well, let's see. I'm curious here. Um,
Our team, if we can't fix it on this call, our team can assist, tomorrow. And then also, we can also try doing a one-to-one Zoom call, video call that one of our members of the tech support team can assist, in person and kind of see what's going on the screen and the whole process as well to guide you through that too, which would be helpful as well. So.
yeah, it's always good to be able to see. So to set up one of those calls, you're going to do that in your support portal.
Yeah, I would reach out to our team via live chat tomorrow, or just go into your sports center. Let me just show that real quick, just so you have a couple of minutes here. Let me get that pulled up.
Yeah, we'll do a little share screen. Here's how to
Yeah,
do it. It's really helpful to be able to see what's actually going on your smart device, on the screen, because we're just kind of trying to eliminate all the typical things here. Um, you might have something
okay.
going on that's not typical.
Let's see. So here, this is our Healy shop. This is the US shop, but you'll see in the bottom right, we have this Healy World America's chat with us. And you click on that right now, it's going to go through our self-service chatbot because it's after hours right now. So at this point, you could actually do this right now, even though our team isn't available. Rather than going through the self-service option, you can just click on support ticket and it'll ask for your email address, that kind of thing. And then it will create the support ticket for you. And then our team will follow up with you on this tomorrow, or maybe Dongni can be on the lookout for this since she was kind of helping here too. But that's one option. But if you do this between 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Eastern, you'll actually chat live with one of our tech support agents there, and they can assist you. And then they can also, via the chat or via the support ticket, whichever option you pick, if this needs to go to a Zoom call, they'll send you a link basically where you can look at that tech support agent's availability on the calendar, pick a date and a time that works for you as well. And then on the when that date arrives and that time, you click the link that they send you, that they will have sent you already, and it will start the video call with them. And then it's a 30-minute call, up to a 30-minute call, and then it can help walk you through this as well. So that's one option. And then if you don't want to use, this is the easiest way to do it, is just to go to the chat section, even if it's after hours, because you can just request the support ticket there. Or you can go to help.healy.world right up at the top here. And then when you go to log in, you log in using the same login information that you do for shop, that you do for support center, back office, for your apps. It's all the same. And then you can go over here and you can click submit a new case in your support center. And it will ask you to pick a topic. So in this case, you would probably go with hardware. And then for yours, most likely Healy Bluetooth, because it's not actually connecting to anything. And then you can put in the topic, you can put in a description, pick your serial number. Then you can also add attachments as well if you need to, whether it's photos or videos or that kind of thing too. So,
You know,
and yeah.
and Dongni put a great other thing to take a look at, because apparently Paula's having a hard time putting all of the digits in the serial number box, as opposed to, we can either scan them and they populate, but if that's not working, you manually put them in.
Mhm.
If the smart device is set to large font, large display font, then some of that isn't displayed on the screen. So in other words, the app screen, right, that's trying to show you that all the boxes to put in the numbers, gets pushed off the face of the screen because it's too big. And so if you go back into your settings on your smart device and set that back to standard font size, then it reallocates the size of the display of what's being displayed on from the app on your screen of your smart device. So that could be it too, if you're not being able to get all of the content. But still, again, if you scan the QR code, and it's populating the entire QR code or the entire serial number, then that pink tab to connect should brighten. But if you're not able to put all the numbers in there, it will
Mhm.
never brighten. It will never activate, is what that means. So I would also look into that, which Dongni put that content in there in the chat. By the way, folks, if this chat content is useful to you, and you want to save it, there is a save function, save chat function. It is, in some cases, at the top of your chat box screen, three little dots. Look for three little dots. Tap on those or click on those if you're on your laptop or PC or your computer. Then it'll give you a save chat option. And at the end of this call, a button will pop up that says save chat, and you can save it to your hard drive. Okay. A lot of great content in there. Especially when we have a difficult thing to solve. We'll get a lot of interaction here, a lot of information. Let's see. Are we caught up? I don't see anything else.
Um,
When I scan QR code. Yeah, it's still kind of, Paula's still going over the being able to get that QR code input. I think we're caught up. I think we're caught up. Yep.
oh, what did we answer? I think I found one. Hold on. Let's see. Did we answer this one about, could you clarify when using multiple devices at the same time, how it's best to take advantage of this process? So, for example, when using the coil and the wristband electrodes at the same time, or using two coils at the same time. So, Ken, you actually did a great talk on this at our homecoming event in Cancun. We had a product panel with some of our top product experts, and Ken was right there on stage and talking about using all the different Healy products together, whether it's the Mag Healy and the Healy device and the coil, and kind of getting the most out of all of them. So,
Yeah.
Ken, you want to share a little bit here on when you might want to use the coil together with those wristband electrodes, or, for example, or multiple units at the same time? Because you have a lot of experience with this for sure.
Yeah, it was fun. It was a great topic. It was a
Yeah.
great panel. And my question was around using multiple devices, using multiple Healys, and synergistically creating things that work together. So I do what's called the dueling Healys, the trifecta, and also quad systems. It's like, we can go from 2 all the way to 4 modalities at the same time. And so where we get a lot of really deep, tangible interface with Healy is with the microcurrent. There's a lot of involvement of tissue and three-dimensional content of the body. The microcurrent increases ATP production, amino acid transport, and protein synthesis. This is just known technology. And so the microcurrent is a very useful component. Now, if you can't use it because of contraindications or extra sensitivity, then we can go with the coil. But I'm going to assume that one is able to use the microcurrent, so I can kind of open that door. If we were using programs that, let's say, I like to use the fitness page as an example. On the fitness page, we have a program called Muscle Harmony. And if we use that program with the electrodes, with the wristbands, and we're applying microcurrent into the body, we're harmonizing muscle, right? Say we're working out, we're exercising, we're harmonizing muscle, we're increasing energy, ATP production within the muscle cells. And then simultaneously, we are running another Healy with a coil. And let's say we're running the program called Strength. Now we're sending magnetic energy into genetic coding to not only increase muscle synthesis, but also strong muscle, right? So we're giving another signal, another criteria for this implication. And then let's say that we have the Mag Healy over here running something from the fitness page, say regeneration, right? Something that's from that particular one of the atmosphere programs. Now we're sending magnetic energy around the body, around the environment to increase that even more. So there's 3 at the same time. And now we know that the Healy 2 app, the Healy 2 app can run multiple devices by starting one device, opening a program, starting it, letting it go, right? Then hard close the app, turning another device on, reopening it, let the app find that device, engage another program on that device. Once it starts running, hard close the app and do the same with the third device. So we can run 2 Healys and a Mag Healy at the same time, 2 Mag Healys and a Healy, whatever. We can run multiple devices at the same time with the same app. We just keep them running because when we hard close the app, the Healy or the Mag Healy is still running, right? As long as we continue the power is on. We haven't turned the power off. And then for the fourth part of that component, we can have charged water with the Mag Healy and be drinking it simultaneously while we're doing all these other things. Now we're really utilizing our product to its fullest. So great way to do a trifecta or even a fourplecta. I don't know if that's a word,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
all right.
All right.
Okay.
I think we're all caught up in it. So
I think so too.
yeah.
We got about 10 minutes left of the call, folks. Let's see. So it looks like Dongni's got some some more information. There's another link there to the YouTube. Let's see.
Yeah. For those of you that typically join us for What's Up Wednesday, we're back at it tomorrow with the full team. Everyone's back from homecoming and the VIP retreat. So Adriana and Peter and Carla and Freddie, we have the whole full house again. So we got some cool updates as well. Just with a few more days left in the month of May, but definitely join us tomorrow if you can at 1 p.m. Eastern. The link to join that call is always healywow.com. It'll take you right to our meeting at 1 p.m. Eastern time tomorrow.
Yeah, we're coming towards the end of the month too, folks. So there's some great specials out there, some smoking deals with free stuff. So gosh, now's a
Yeah,
great time.
for anyone looking for the Mag Healy, we had a flash sale that has started yesterday on the Mag Healy Professional, 50% off plus the Meridian module for free as well, which is an outstanding deal too.
Yeah. So clarifying, when I was referring to running multiple devices, multiple Healys with one smart device, with one app. When I say hard close, I mean hard close the app, not the Healy, not the Healy or Mag Healy. Leave it running. So in other words, like I said, you pick the muscle program from the fitness page. All right, you get it started. Now it's running on the Healy, and say you're connected with the wristbands. Okay. All right. So now that's running. The green light's flashing. You hard close the app on your smart device. The blue light will stop flashing, but the green light will still stay flashing on the Healy hardware. That means that program is still running. So then turn on another Healy hardware and then reopen the app and let the app find that new Healy hardware. Of course, it's going to be significant based on the serial number, right? You open that the app with that new Healy hardware, start another program. All right, let's say that you're using that one with the coil. All right, you got the coil on your Healy hardware, and now you're running a new program with that new Healy hardware. All right, so then hard close the app again. Okay, remember the green light's still flashing on both Healys now. Both these guys are running a program in their entirety, all by themselves. They don't need the app. They've already got them started. Hard close the app again, and then turn your Mag Healy on. Okay, and then open the app, and the app will find the Mag Healy. And then you scan its QR code or get it activated and start running a program from the Mag Healy. Okay, so that's how you run or start multiple devices kind of sequentially. You can't do them all at the same time, but you can do them sequentially, and they will continue running until you turn the power button off, right? They'll stay running, and they'll run that entire program all the way through its timed interval. All right, so that's how you get multiple Healy systems running simultaneously from one app. Hopefully that makes sense. Maybe one of these days we'll do a Healy for beginners and beyond on dueling Healys, trifectas, quad Healys. I don't know.
Yeah, I'll set a new record for number of Healy devices started with one app.
Exactly, right? We can get a lot going at once. I
Yeah,
I, I find it awesome. It's useful because we're creating things synergistically. They're all contributing to each other.
yeah,
All right. So Paula's heading out. Hopefully you got some resolve, or at least have a plan for resolution. Of course, we're here next week too. Well, maybe not, but we're trying to be here every week.
yeah, yeah,
But anyway, depends on scheduling.
yeah. I think after next week we'll probably be able to get back to a more regular schedule here. So
Yes. Okay, so there's another comment here about that we stress, getting a full discharge. However, at times I get a low battery and need to charge it. Let's see, a low battery need charge, is that a full discharge? When your device says low battery, now it means that if you try to load a program, it means that there's probably not enough power to run that program. So it's going to say no. All right. So then go ahead and recharge it. If you just have barely, I run mine. Usually I'm able to load a program. Sometimes it doesn't finish the program because the battery dies. But normally it's going to tell you that it can't do another program because it needs to be charged. So if that's the case, go ahead and charge it back up, but charge it back up fully. And again, how do you know it's fully charged? Well, you plug it in, the green light comes on, and you just leave it alone until that green light goes off, right? And when I say leave it alone, sometimes I have noticed that when I plug my Healy in, I leave it alone, it goes all the way through. But if I go and fuss with it, I might mess up the connection, right? And the green light goes off and resets. I've done that before, but that's me messing around with it. Plug it in, leave it alone, and it's going to charge fully. All right. Let's see. Yeah, hopefully you guys can save the chat at the end of this call. And then, of course, go back to the recording if you found some useful stuff here.
Yeah. Yeah, I think this one point here, maybe we finish with this. There was, the recommendation is approximately 3 microcurrent programs per day with the Healy device. And of course, be able to run more programs with the Coil or with vibrating programs with the Analyse app. The question was, back to your example of using 2 or 3 or 4 Healys at the same time, was if you did that all at once, would that mean that you're basically done for the day? Or would you do that, 3 to 4 times per day? Like this is where it's careful not to overdo it. This isn't, let's hook up wristbands on your arm and on your legs and all over the place, and do 3 programs 3 times a day. That's not what it was kind of intended to be. It was more so in a certain situation, you can do this with you have the ability to do this with the app, and a lot of the programs are complementary. And a lot of times it's, like Ken said, using the wristbands with the coil or that kind of thing, not necessarily using multiple microcurrent programs at the same time.
No, as I mentioned, I said I hook the microcurrent up
Yeah.
to one program, right?
Mm-hmm.
And because I want a specific embodied infusion, I want a physical response by my body, and that's what it comes to muscle. And then I run the coil because that's a magnetic infusion, right? The body sorts out what it wants and what it is going to use. The body is its own intelligence. So, listen to your body, folks. I mean, just because I'm referring to how you can do this doesn't mean, that if you do it and you find some detox symptoms, then you might have overdid this a bit. So listen to your body. Hydrate, hydrate, hydrate. This is really important when we're using the microcurrent or even the coil. Keeping the body fully hydrated helps it to cleanse itself, to function properly. And then also ground yourself between each series of programs. Go out and do some grounding. This is really important. Self-care is a very important thing. And I've outlined my self-care protocol during our calls before. So you can find that on a YouTube page. But definitely listen to your body. Common sense is really important. All right.
So I think it's 9 o'clock, but there was a question here about when you save the chat. So someone mentioned when he saves it, they can never find it after the call. So it saved it somewhere, but they don't know where to go to find it. On my computer, when I installed Zoom, there's a Zoom folder in my documents, and that's where all the chats are saved. It might vary some from device to device, but they're usually stored automatically in some sort of Zoom folder, and then within that, each of the chats has its own folder as well that are automatically named by Zoom.
Yeah, when you click on the save chat and you get out of the chat and we close this up, if your computer's still there, it's going to have a little information bar there. It says the chat, save chat, and it's got a name in there. You can rename it to something that helps you remember. It's otherwise it's just a number. It's a date. So you can rename it, and then you can decide where it goes. If it's to your desktop, if it's to a folder, whatever. So at the end of our call, pay attention to that notice bar that's there, and then place it where you want it, name it the way you want it, and then you can find it later. All right, guys. Well, we are at the end of our hour. Thank you for being here. Thank you, Jake. Thank you, Dongni. I hope you guys found some value here. Definitely invite folks next time, and we'll see you again on our next episode.
Yeah. Thanks, Ken. Thanks, Tommy.
Thank you, guys. See you later.